Nothing screams spring louder than baseball in Minnesota. But this time of year, it's a little different here in Twins territory, with snow piled up outside the stadium and sub-freezing temperatures. This was never more evident than when I entered Target Field, not to the familiar sounds of Twins taking batting practice, but to the muffled voices of the grounds crew as they removed the giant tarps that covered the entire field. Undeterred, I make my way to the photo workroom, set up in my usual spot, and hammer through my pregame prep. That's a wrap on pregame prep. Let's go take a look around. Make my way through the double doors and start the 8-step climb onto Target Field. No matter how many times I ascend those stairs, it never gets old. And I'm filled with the excitement I had when I was 8 going to the Dome for the first time in the mid-80s. As this is my first game of the year, I'm going to check out my work environment and scope out the photo wells. I'm also going to count how many video cameras are in there. You always want to know who you're working with. Heaven forbid you bump their tripod or hit their elbow or say hi to them or smile at them. You know what? Let's just stay away from the camera operators altogether. At the end of my recon mission, I noticed that both pitching staffs had begun to warm up in the outfield. Here's Twins closer Fernando Rodney getting in some work. Twins manager Paul Mahler playing a quick game of catch with his son. And a member of the Twins grounds crew putting the final touches on the infield grass. Players warm up, why shouldn't I? Now I make my way over to the Mariners side of the yard. Here's Seattle reliever Juan Nicasio playing a game of long toss. Ichiro stretched and ran. Even had some time to sling some ink for a few lucky fans. But my favorite pregame moment had to be when Seattle third baseman Kyle Seager exited the clubhouse in shorts and a t-shirt and ran down to the field to take some ground balls, exclaiming, "It's not even that bad out here." As he was taking ground balls, a Rube in the front row with a Dodgers jersey on and a 5 on the back of it started heckling him. You know, the super original stuff about, hey, your brother's better than you, and hey, where's your hair? He'd ultimately get the last laugh, though. More on that later. It was almost game time, so I made my way to the inside photo well on the third base side. I'm really glad I picked that spot, because while I was there, I was able to capture this frame of my all-time favorite player, Hall of Famer Rod Carew, chatting with one of my favorite current players, Seattle second baseman Robinson Cano. The skies were clear, but there were still challenges this day. The game time temperature of 27 degrees set the mark for the coldest home game in Twins history. This caused the players to wear multiple underlayers and don full-on ski masks concealing their faces. Like Seattle's Gene Segura. At least I think that's Gene Segura. Miguel Sano went with this revealing chin strap number. Maybe Robinson Cano? Minnesota right fielder Max Kepler capped off his ensemble with a blue hoodie. Robbie? In this photo well, I'll go with a wide-angle lens to get players in the on-deck circle warming up. Just watching Ichiro move in general is poetry in motion. Kyle Seager takes a few cuts with the bat weight on, and D. Gordon on his knee is just classic. Then I like to go with a 300 lens for guys in and on their way to the batter's box, and pitchers and catchers are always a must in any position. Scoreless after 3, I made my way to the outside well on the third base side. From this position, I like to get lefties in the batter's box, mid-leg kick preferred. Runners coming right at you, going from second to third. Another angle of the pitchers, and dugout celebrations of the visiting club. After a few innings here, I make my way to the outside well on the first base side. Here, my checklist includes righties at the plate, again looking for that leg kick, another angle on the pitchers, guys leaving the batter's box, and lefties at the end of their swing. The Mariners beat our hometown 9 11-4 that day, but a lot of other things happened. Kyle Seager hit a 2-run bomb in the top of the 4th and later collected his 1,000th career hit. Take that, Dodger jersey guy. Tom Kelly was on hand to present Paul Molitor with his 2017 American League Manager of the Year award. Twins reliever Tyler Kinley made his Major League debut, striking out 2 in the process. I learned a little something too. I learned that Target Field is heated, and with the low temps, the heat vapors were crazy, which rendered any ground ball photos or photos of the outfield basically useless, which is a huge bummer because those are my favorite frames to get. Good thing it's a long season. Take care, and I'll see you at the park.